When this act was passed in 2015, we applauded it, but we also stated very clearly that the act was not strong enough for the objectives for which it was designed. And so, ordinarily, it should gladden our heart if by 2024, some amendments are now at the proposed amendments, National Assembly. Ordinarily, we would have thought that those amendments will address the loopholes in the National Tobacco Control Act and make it stronger so that it can protect Nigerians from the harms and dangers of smoking tobacco and the use of tobacco products. And I like to stress that the law is not only about smoking tobacco, but tobacco use in all its ramifications. However, we want to stress that between 2015 and 2024, a lot has happened in the tobacco use, tobacco manufacturing, and of course, policies around tobacco. Two significant events happened yesterday. One in Kenya, in Africa, and another in the UK. In Kenya, the Supreme Court finally upheld all the attempts by the industry to weaken their national tobacco control law, while in UK, the bill again to completely phase out smoking passed the first order in Parliament in UK. I feel it's necessary to bring this to our attention to see how governments around the world are tightening the news against smoking and protecting their children. And so discussions are ongoing about the review of the National Tobacco Control Act 2015 to bolster tobacco enforcement.
HB 1151, which seeks to impose stiffer penalties for violations of smoking regulations, suffers from a fundamental flaw. And it is that the bill misrepresents the title of the principal act, which is the National Tobacco Control Act 2015. In fact, the reference sections in that bill for amendment do not match with what is inside the National Tobacco Control Act. The title of the bill itself is the National Tobacco Smoking Control Act 2015. That is the bill that is the law that it is seeking to amend. And there is no law like the National Tobacco Smoking Control Act 2015. What we have is the National Tobacco Control Act. So in that sense, Bill 1151 is attempting to amend a law that does not exist. And so it raises concerns for us about its legislative intent and even the soundness of what it is proposing to amend. At the public hearing last week, we asked that that bill be thrown out. There is no merit to the bill. In fact, as Mr. Bode has said, the bill seeks to amend a smoking act. And we think that that perspective is very narrow. We are dealing with smoking tobacco and tobacco use in all forms. So we can't narrow it down to just smoking as, a point of action. So for House Bill 1151, we asked specifically that that bill be thrown out. Regarding HB 47, which aims to cure certain defects in the NTCA 2015, ensure its effective implementation, as well as address the lacuna that may be exploited by the tobacco industry. We have commended its intent, but highlighted some gaps and areas that require strengthening. Our recommendations and demands include, which we also delivered at the public hearing, they include that HB 47 should also cover should also speak about regulations to cover new and emerging tobacco